Happy Sunday, team. I'm so excited you guys are here. And if you're watching the recording, thanks for doing that too. Hey, Caitlin. I am really excited to talk about this because it's something that I'm working on. So anytime I'm trying to develop something, I find that I do a lot better with it if I teach it, because I feel like now I have to do it because I told you guys to do it. So Melanie and I have been fine-tuning this in our team. It's something our team has been struggling with, and so we've been really working on it. And we have some things that we did last week that we kind of implemented that we would like to share with you. So for those of you that don't know us, we're Melanie and Christine. Melanie is a diamond coach. I am a star diamond coach, and we are just super excited to share with you our tips for time management, how to use your power hour, and what to do in it. And we'll give you some tips to not get distracted, because let's be honest, that's probably everyone's biggest struggle. So I'm going to let Melanie rock it first.
Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Sunday. I'm excited to see you guys here. Excited to see some faces. Thank you for joining us. So my biggest tip, and it's something that I tell myself, I always tell my challengers in my group, if I'm giving like hardcore tips or being really passionate about something, it means that I'm talking to myself. I'm looking in the mirror right now saying, this is something I need to shape up on, and this is something I have got to start doing. Otherwise, my time is not as valuable as it should be. And last week I struggled really bad, and I looked around myself and I felt just like I was overwhelmed. Everything around me. I didn't want to run challenge groups next month. I was having a hard time sending out messages, and I was just seriously struggling. And my problem solution to this was I was going to stop running groups. The next day I kind of like rewound and was like, you know what, that's not the problem. That's not the problem at all. My house was falling apart. I was not cleaning up and doing my daily mom tasks. But it's because I wasn't scheduling my time. I would find myself on Facebook scrolling and going through liking posts and commenting to people, thinking that I'm working my business, when literally I'm scrolling on Facebook and just liking and commenting on posts that they're not going to get me anywhere. I mean, maybe, but not really. So what we need to do, huge for me, this is something I just thought of when Christine was talking, is something I like to do a lot when I'm feeling extremely overwhelmed, is to do a brain dump. Sounds bad, but it's good. You sit down, write down, take 10 to 20 minutes by yourself in a quiet room, write everything down that's on your brain. Every single thing that you need to do, every single thing that you are thinking about, the things that you need to do in your business, the things you need to do in your life. Do I need to clean the garage? Do I need to clean the house? All these things. And then free up your mind, look at your schedule for the week, and you need to schedule power pockets. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to sit down for a complete hour right now and I'm going to work on my business. We have kids and we're running them back and forth and we're constantly all over the place, and we have 15 minutes right here. You know, if like the kiddos are taking a nap or something and you have 15 minutes and you know that's the normal time, you need to schedule something from your day, from your 4 vital behaviors, whether you're going to be sending messages out, something, schedule it in that time. It's just like our workouts. If we don't schedule it and we don't make sure it's there and it's a job and it's something we have to do, chances are something's going to come in the way and you're not going to do it. Or you're going to find yourself scrolling on Facebook, not getting anything done. So we need to schedule our time. We need to make sure that we look at the week ahead of us, anything we have going on, appointments, taking kids to school, nap time, write it down, and then make yourself a schedule. So that is the big thing. So schedule your power pockets. Christine is going to give you some tools and some tips of what we need to be doing inside those power pockets. We have tons of resources available in Empowered to Change, and in our personal team grit, we have files with power hour tasks. We have the jogger, walker, runner in Empowered to Change that gives you kind of your activity tracker for the week. But I'll let Christine take that and give you a couple of the tasks that we do within those power hours.
So I'm going to give you my biggest tip as far as your power hour, and that is to do the hardest thing first. A lot of coaches, myself included, will save it for last. What we'll do is we'll sit down and we'll do the easy stuff. We'll check into our challenge group. We'll check in with our coaches, when what we really need to be doing is the hard stuff. 80% of your time, whether you're a 5-star diamond or a brand new baby coach, and actually if you're a brand new baby coach, it's more like 100% of your time, should be spent recruiting. Not trying to make fancy team trainings, not trying to do all this stuff that's a lot safer. you're recruiting. That's the meat of your time. If you start with that, it makes everything else a lot easier. It's Eat That Frog. If you haven't read Eat That Frog, read Eat That Frog, because you got to get it out of the way and then it's done. So what I would recommend is have a list that you're working from always. Where do you get that list? Your Instagram followers, the people that watch your stories are the best ones. If you didn't listen to Monday's National Wake Up Call, write it down, listen to it yesterday, because it's balls to the walls how to reach out to these people and what to say. It's awesome. So please listen to that. But here is what I would recommend. Here's in my Power Hour, and like Melanie said, you can find other lists, other trackers. I list my IG. Yep, I list my IG story followers. And I try to really focus on the ones that stick through my workouts, the ones that stick through my coach posts. Because some people will fall off. I try to find the ones that like they're into me. They're so into me, and I write them down. Then I send invites to challenge groups. I send invites to the coaching opportunity, and then I send invites to either my free group, or if you have a community, or if you're running a clean week, whatever it is that's like your soft, gentle, safe space. You're doing that one last. That's the last one. You send to your challenge group and you send to the coach group, hey, Jennifer, thanks for joining us first. Then when you've done all that, you can do the check-ins. You check in with your challenge group, check in with your challengers, check in with your coaches, recognize a challenger, recognize a coach, start some new fun, gentle, easy conversations, not those scary invites. I mean it. I want you to get those invites out of the way early. Then you need to look in your Coach Online office every single day, either for news tips. And if you're a ranking coach, you want to look to see that your drill down, check your sponsorship drill down, make sure everything's kosher in there. You're also going to want to check orders, check any possible leads that you've gotten, connect with those people. The other things that you have to do every day is your workout and your shake. And then you got to talk about it on social media. Now, here's what I see that most of us do first. I'm not saying that's that order. You can work out first thing in the morning, but I see we're really good at talking with the people we've worked with, sharing our stuff on social media, and then we get scared with the invites. That's why I want you guys to do that first. Now, what if all of this stuff I mentioned is about an hour's worth of work for you and you don't have an hour to do that? This is what Melanie's talking about. So you're going to have this list and you're going to check off what you can get done in your 15 minutes. And then you come back to the next part of the list. Do not go back up to the top and do the same thing over and over and over again, or stay in your safe space. Get everything done in your list. Some of you might be able to do like 10 invites to your challenge group in a day. Some of you might be able to do 5. Some of you might do 3. Some of you might do 20. Some of you might take this list and break it up over a few days. That's okay too. Your goal, your vision is going to dictate how much of this list and how big it is per day, per week. Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope that makes sense. And now if you're someone that works full-time, you get up at 4 a.m., you drive to work, you work all day, you have dinner, you basically go right to bed. You're like, when the heck do I do this? This is where the Facebook scrolling has to stop. This is where Melanie and I are going to give you some tips. So the next time you catch yourself at your desk on Facebook going, send 5 invites right there. Bam. Don't even think about it. Oh, you know what I didn't put in here? Personal development. You want to know what makes it easier to do all of that? Personal development. Do you want to know when this isn't happening? When you're not doing personal development. So you might need to start with that to get the confidence to do that. But if you use personal development as a crutch too, then go ahead and start with the Eat That Frog. Does that make sense? It depends on the kind of person you are. If you can eat that frog without the personal development, I want you to eat the frog. If you need to hear Brendan Bashar before you can get in there and make the message, do that first. It just depends on the kind of person you are. I'm going to toss it back to Melanie because I have dry mouth, and I'll share my tips after she shares hers.
No, personal development is huge. It's something I think all of us struggle with if we aren't doing it. It's just like your workouts. It's just like, scheduling your business hours. If you're not doing it consistently, you're going to struggle with it. So pick up your book every single day, pop on some podcasts every single day, and it's going to help you when you are having those conversations because it's going to help boost your confidence. You're going to know what to say because a lot of the time, I don't know what to say. I'm out of motivation. Sometimes I have a hard time motivating myself to do these things. So, hello. Yeah, and then the national wake up call too. I was like, so, and when I first started, I was like, national wake up call. I don't know if I have time for that. That's probably something I can skip. Don't skip the national wake up call. Huge. I was writing notes down as you were talking, Christine. So, something that has helped me just like literally in the last 3 days is shut it down. When you are done sending out those invites and you are done having messages and you're done with your Power Pocket, shut it down. Get off of it. Stop looking at it. Don't have your notifications buzzing your phone all day long. Shut that off. You have a scheduled time to check your messages. You're going to go in there and you're going to check those messages, and they'll still be there when you check those messages in your scheduled time, okay? So, I mean, if you've got the time to check them all day, great. More power to you, but I have 3 boys that are running around that I got to skip school. I've got to keep the house clean, and my life is crazy busy sometimes, and I need to learn to shut it down. I was constantly like responding to messages right away. They'll still be there. Shut it down. That is a huge advice for, and I know that a lot of people in our team were struggling with that. They're like, how do you have time to answer these messages all day? I don't know, because I wasn't doing it. I was answering them immediately, and I don't need to do that. I can answer them at the end of the day or in my scheduled Power Pocket. So, like Christine said, this is something we're working on, so it was something that we could be passionate about and help you guys by helping ourselves. So,
yep. Yeah. It's easy to get burned out with this business and with social media. So you want to shut it down. The other thing that I want to say is when you have your list, check it off and set that timer. So if you know you only have 15 minutes, you set a timer. What you get done in that 15 minutes is it. Now, the first few times you might find that you didn't get very much done because you were wasting time making stuff you didn't need to be making or looking at posts or whatever. What you'll find though is if you retrain your brain by setting that timer and, oh shoot, I didn't send 3 invites and my time is up, the next time you come back, you will do it. The next time you come back and sit down in your dedicated Power Pocket, you will do it because you've learned that your time budget isn't that great. You don't have that much time. And I really want to encourage you guys to budget your time the way you budget your calories and the way you budget your dollars. Because this business requires you to be on social media, which means whereas most people go to social media to get away, if you go to social media to get away and to work, you're going to start to hate it. And I don't want that for you guys. And we've seen it happen over and over with a lot of people in our team. Budget your time, and like Mel said, shut it down. The second that timer's up, shut it down. It will be there when you come back, and then you go back and you check those messages and you do your Power Pocket, and then you shut it down. You will be happier. Your husbands will be happier. Your kids will be happier. You'll have clean laundry. The garden will be done. It's just a much better life. My other tip for you is to understand what your goal is and what you need to do to get to that goal. Because if your goal is to be an elite coach, by the time you get to Summit and you're sitting at Diamond, you're going to have to do a little bit more work. A 15-minute Power Pocket 4 times a day might not be enough. You might have to stay up a little later. You might have to get up a little earlier. So you need to really be in touch with what that looks like. And it's just like budgeting your calories. It might take a little while to figure out what that looks like. But once you're a couple months into it, you'll know, okay, if I need to hit Success Club 20 and I want to do this, I'm going to have to invite this number of people and I'm going to need to do it by the 10th in order. Do you know what I mean? So once you get in touch with that, if you don't know what your goal is, that's a problem. It is really, 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 really hard to drill down on that list if you don't have a clear, precise vision of what you're doing. Because why are you going to invite to someone if it doesn't really matter to you? So always have a vision. Everything we teach you doesn't matter if you don't have that why. Simon Sinek starts with why. The other personal development that will help you with this is Straight Edge, Push by Chalene Johnson. Those are all some really great personal development tools for time management, being diligent, being disciplined. But I want you guys to think about this just like timed nutrition, just like anything you do in your day. Schedule it, honor it, and then move on. Move on. Let it go. Okay. What we'd like to do now is open it up to what struggles you guys are having, what questions you have, how we can best support you, what you want to talk about in the future. sharing some wins, sharing your personal tips.
And a huge part of your power pocket too is having something to invite to. That's because that will make your power pockets go so much more easy and simple. Is just have something to invite to, whether it's in the Tracker app or whether it's your community on Facebook. Just have something to invite to, and then that takes out the complication of what you're going to say in your invite. You know what I mean? So, do you guys have any questions, Jennifer? I thought maybe you might have questions. No, maybe. I don't know. Anybody? Come on, there's questions.
So again, you guys are like, you're ready, you're on the money, you know how to manage your week, you know how to schedule your time, you're gonna wake up tomorrow with your week scheduled out, you're gonna run your power pockets, and you know exactly what you need to do to get this done. You're ready. Because I don't want you guys to get off this call and be like, shoot, I just don't know if I can do it. I want you to get off this call and be like, doing it.
I did have a struggle this past week.
Hit me with it.
So I was messaging people, since I haven't been able to work out, I really can't do anything. I was messaging people probably like 5 or 6 days ago, and one of the girls I messaged, I was like, hey, I've been a Beachbody coach for a little bit now, and she asked me about the shakes, so I was telling her about the shakes and some of the programs we had to offer. And so she was like, oh, well, I haven't seen you post about it, so I just figured that you quit. She said, so I just kind of changed my mind on doing it. And I was like instantly, I was like beating myself up over it because it was aggravating. And I told her, I was like, no, I promise you I haven't quit. Like, it's still great. But I had to go back and explain the part that, I can't do it right now. And I wasn't thinking about, hey, just because I just had surgery and I can't actually work out, I could still be posting on Facebook. I could still be sharing everything because I've still been drinking my shakes. And so that one really, really got to me.
It's eye-opening. It is eye-opening. So you need a presence on social media. Just because you're not on social media all day doesn't mean you don't need a presence. Caitlin, you don't beat yourself up. You just had a hysterectomy, and it's been quite the process up to it. So I feel like you get to give yourself a little grace, and she'll understand. But there are a lot of Beachbody coaches out there, and there are also a lot of other options out there. So you want to make sure that you're not only Beachbody all the time. Like, you have to be more than just Beachbody, because people get sick of that too. But you need people to know that you're doing it, that it's working, and that you're consistent, and that you're someone they can go to. Because if you're not, and you're not someone they can go to, they will find someone else, which is totally frustrating. But you know where you won? By having the conversation. Because if you're not having those conversations behind the scenes, you don't know who you're winning or losing anyway. The magic is in the actual conversations. Our posts rarely get us customers. Like, it's 1 in a million person actually just goes and signs up from a post. It does not happen. That's a really good point, Caitlin. A huge point. And I know Melanie told you follow Denise, right? De La Rosa?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because it's a different struggle, but similar. And so she's, she kind of shows you how to, there's so much strength in struggle. People don't like unicorns farting rainbows. They hate that. Oh, it's perfect all the time for her, because they can't relate to that. People want to know how you make it happen with real life. People want to know that you struggle too, but then to know that you still make it happen, that's how you get them to join you. To just be like, everything's perfect. They're like, well, yeah, everything's perfect for you. So whatever, it's not perfect for me, so I can't do it. So own that struggle. I'm
Embrace
this language. We're right here, aren't we, girl? Yeah. Right here.
My mantra, like, embrace the suck. Brendon Burchard says it all the time. Embrace the suck. Share it. But don't dwell in it. Don't dwell in negativity of it. Share that you grew from your struggle. So
thank you for sharing that here.
Yeah, thank you. So much.
Anything else?
You have questions. And if you guys think of something, like if you get off the call and you're like, I should have asked that question, write it down, because we're hoping to plan on, at least having somebody do a team call every single week.
Yep.
So write
the
questions.
Might not be us, but
yeah, exactly. Bring them back, and then we'll have them answer it.
I would love just love, I can hear my baby. I would love to have everyone share a win from last week and what their focus is this week. Just because I feel like, I feel like that's good. It's Sunday. Where'd you win last week? And what are you focusing on this week? I will start since I'm the one who just threw this out here. I'm going to say that my huge win last week was on Friday. I shut my phone off and my social media off from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I didn't touch it. I didn't look at it. I didn't open it. When I did come back to it, I was ready to work, you guys. I felt so good. I had stuff done in my house. I didn't feel guilty. And then I shut it off again. And I was like a mom, like a present mom. My kids got eye contact. It was awesome. So that was a big win. My focus this week is hitting it hard and getting some conversations because I want to go to that Success Club party. So I need to get to 10. So that's my focus this week. Anyone else? Everyone has to share. So go ahead, Mel.
My win is equally the same because I used Christine as my accountability partner for the exact same thing. Friday I messaged her and I was like, okay, I'm shutting, although I did tell her, I was like, but you got to text message me if you need anything. But I was like, I'm shutting my messenger off for the next, until I go pick up the boys, because that's one of my power pockets is when I go pick up the kids from school, I have about 5-10 minutes just sitting outside waiting for them. And so I check my messages and do some quick response if I need to. But I shut it off for almost 4 hours and I got so much work done around my house, like cleaned. And like Christine said, when I came back, I didn't feel guilty about working the business a little bit and sending out a couple more messages and making a post or two, even if it was a post about me shutting down social media, I was sharing my struggle and sharing that I grew from it. So that was my win. My focus also same is I need to really be inviting I'm gonna have 2 groups now. See, that's what happened from me not running any groups next month. Now I'm gonna run 2 groups next month, and I'm gonna go start inviting for it. So yeah, that's my focus. Anybody else?
Everyone's gonna go whether they like it or not. So I'm just gonna call on you, my buddy Dawn. Let me hear it.
Okay, while I was out of town for a week, I was still able to get myself set up. I should be able to reach the Success Club party, and then my focus for the week is getting Jeff one more coach.
Yay! Good job, Dawn. We go. Cynthia?
Well, I took time this week to actually look after myself. I was getting really run down. Over the past 2 months, I've had a really bad flu. We went on vacation, so I just spent the past week really looking after myself, going to bed at 6 o'clock. I had naps 3 or 4 times this week. So I'm feeling good and ready to hit it hard again this week.
Good for you. Awesome. That's important. Did you share that with your people, with your tribe?
Yep.
Good. Good girl. What's your focus this week?
Mine, inviting.
Cool.
I need to get some people into my group for next week or for next month.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing. Caitlin, what about you?
My win last week would probably be, so I have a list and it's called my scary list. And it's people who kind of intimidate me and who are more real successful, and they they have that, Facebook perfect life, social media perfect life, and always going to do. And so I made a little list of my scary list, and I stepped out of my comfort zone and messaged 5 of those people off my scary list. And I actually got responses from 2 of them. So that was really that was a big thing for me last week, because those are people who have, I'm kind of intimidated by and always have been for years now.
Yay!
So that was a really big thing. And one of the messages back was, she said, what did she say? She was like, yeah, I was going to message you, but I didn't know if you were rude. And I didn't know if you were a rude person or a nice person. She said, and I get scared of messaging people on Facebook. And I just laughed and laughed and laughed. And I told her, I said, you have no idea how I thought the same about you, except for I just was, you're a really intimidating person. So it was nice that, I mean, it was a good eye opener to see like, hey, those people that you're messaging probably feel the exact same about messaging you that you feel about messaging them.
Yep.
Like that thing goes both ways.
Oh yeah.
You just have all the insight today, Caitlin. Good job. What's your focus this week, girl?
My focus would probably be, because I have about 30 on that list. So my focus is really trying to message, my focus would be trying to message 5 more of them, and then inviting, like I want to make a group and try to start inviting people to it, because I'm only down for about 4 or 5 more weeks before I can start working out again.
Cool.
So I want to get something going before I am able to.
All right. By Wednesday, I want to hear about your group and your inviting. I can't wait to hear about it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Good. Jennifer, I'm just going in order of my screen. So Jennifer, what about you?
Hi.
Hey.
How's it going? So what I feel I was a little bit more successful with this week was getting more active on Instagram. I normally don't send any invites out on Instagram, but I actually did send out some invites via direct message on Instagram there and got a couple of responses of interest. So going to use that more often, as well as posting on there. What I need to focus on more is getting through my invites in my friends list. I have a lot of friends on my friends list, like over 1,000 friends. So I tend to get halfway through, not even halfway through, and I stop because it's very time consuming. And then I forget where I left off. If I'm doing it on my break at work, nap time, I'll do it because I'm a teacher's assistant at a daycare. So I try to make that time useful, but then I'll forget if a baby wakes up and then I don't get back to it. And then I'm like, oh no, where did I leave off? And then I got to go searching through the messages and all that kind of stuff. So that can get frustrating. So trying to organize that a little bit more and making sure I really pinpoint where I leave off if I stop. So
I know it's hard and it's kind of a pain in the butt, but if you can just jot it down, that way you kind of know where you've been and where you've got left to go. But good for you. That's good. Just the fact that you're touching on those people is perfect. That's awesome. It's a lot of work. Good job. Is that your focus too? Is just continuing on with that?
yeah, just keep on, getting used to sending invites.
Way to go on Instagram. How about you guys? Do you guys feel like Instagram is way better than Facebook? Am I the only one who's just like, man, people are over it on Facebook? That's what I'm noticing. Sorry if you can hear my kids screaming. They're getting in trouble by their dad. So sorry. Just for that. All right, Belkis, let me hear it. Am I saying your name right? Okay,
Yes,
good.
you are.
Cool.
Yes, you are.
Good.
Well, my win was more on a personal level this week. Actually been extremely busy, but and I'm about to tomorrow go on a work trip, and I managed to get in 2 date nights, I figure, with both my son and my daughter and my husband. So we went out to dinner Friday and also Saturday. To me, that was big. It was, you eat dinner every day, but because you're home, you sort of disconnect faster because then everybody goes to their own place. And I felt that we went out, we got to just walk around and chat. And that was really important for me because I'm going to be away for 4 days. And I feel, I'm already having anxiety that I'm not going to be home. And my focus is to plant my seeds now between today, tonight, and tomorrow. So when I start coming back in the airport from my trip, start reaching back and answering messages where we are. And, to your point earlier, that's some lesson I learned too on my own, that I cannot just be Beachbody on my social media. I have to show that I'm a mom, I have a job, I traveled to see my kids in college, I have all these factors in my life, and I'm still I'm able to incorporate a workout or a side business or something and attract some person that is probably the same as me out there.
Exactly. Because if we're only Beachbody, we're only going to attract Beachbody. And I don't need any more Beachbody coaches following me on Instagram. I need I need moms, I need boy moms, I need nursing moms, I need people who are messy, I need like those kind of people follow me. So that's, yes, you got to be everything you are. And that's totally perfect. Good. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate you giving us your time. I always say that's your most important asset. So for you to share it with us, I'm very grateful to you. If you think of anything you want to talk about, feel free to spit Melanie or I a message, or Denise or Taryn or whoever, and we'll make it happen. We want these to benefit you. Cool? I like to end calls with a fist bump, yeah?
Yep.
Fist bump. Have an awesome week, you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.